But you know, this place doesn't belong to anybody, but right now it needs someone's protection. And this, you know, because this is, you know, it's important that this remains its own autonomous place. You know, this is a future. You know, if we leave it be, it's a future. But of course, you know, if all that, I mean, there's so much destruction from this project. I mean, it's really insanity, because, you know, when I first started learning about the process that, you know, this process it's going to take to build this highway, and it's absolutely absurd. And there's, you know, they're getting huge, you know, their wetlands fill permit for the northern end is like the largest permit that they've had to divvy out in like 50 years or something like that. And you know, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Obviously you don't pave a wetlands. It doesn't make any sense.
No, when they've already destroyed 98% of the wetlands.
Right, and so instead of being like, oh, we shouldn't build a highway on top of a wetland, they say, oh, right, let's just put in 55,000 poles that are going to go 85 feet down into the ground to suck the water up, then fill it, then pave it.
Yeah.
I just, that is insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, and what that's going to do to the groundwater here is ugly, because the amount of metals and contaminants that are going to be in the groundwater after all those pilings are driven in.
Yeah.
It's just going to be irreversible.
And point of information, Mr. Phil Fursby Jr., the Public Information Officer for Caltrans, has said that, oh no, it's not going to change the groundwater level. And I have not heard a single thing come out of his mouth that has been accurate. And so I guess that works out to our benefit. But I don't know if maybe I shouldn't be saying this on camera, but I don't know. You know, it's on top of the insanity of it, trying to cover up the insanity of it with their lies is just absurd. You know, and it's not even paving it on a wetland. It's also paving it on a fault. I mean, it's insanity. You know, people drive by and call me crazy and call me all manner of things. But you know, I don't see it as insane. I see it as just a necessity. This is my job right now. You know, people are like, get a job, which is completely irrelevant. But besides, you know, this is my job, and this is your job, and this is our job, because, you know, because our bureaucracy isn't doing their job. And so we have a right to put our bodies on the line. We have a right to get arrested for it. We have a right to speak up about it. And so I feel really strongly that we need to keep this space as is.
Yeah, and it's really sad that a lot of people are being portrayed as criminals for standing up for what's right. We're all made out to be criminals when we feel really strongly about we're doing the right thing. Everyone here is losing sleep. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't slept because all I can think about is how to take another step closer to stopping this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are really making a sacrifice, and probably making more of a sacrifice than they should if this was being taken on by more of the community. And so that's why we've constantly been urging more people to be a part of this. But if nothing else, just educate yourself. I mean, there are so many people who are used to just doing what they're told and believing everything they're said, and the fact of the matter is, you know, that the more they do that, the more lies they're going to be fed, and you know, it just locks everything up. But
I know I heard that people have been on the ground a couple of times underneath you in the night when you were trying to sleep, and You know, I heard you got rousted one night by some people saying
yeah.
like people against you and against what you're standing for.
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of this job is you know, just putting myself out there very strongly, and if, you know, obviously there's going to be opposition, and people have definitely come by and harassed me, but a majority of people are just, they don't have the knowledge behind the subject to know why they're opposed to it, and so mostly people just come by and they flip me off. But that's just
right.
but just because there's, you know, there's not necessarily a reason behind it, because I'm a freaking hippie or whatever, you know, they're flipping me off. It's not that they're educated on this subject and they're really like, I really, really feel strongly that you should not be up in this tree because we need the bypass because of X, Y, and Z. I have not seen that at all yet.
Right.
I've just seen people flipping me off. So, so I mean, there's opposition, of course, and it's, you know, I think in some circles it's really strong, and in that sense I've been a little nervous. But you know, I am 70 feet up in the air, so there's only so many things, you know, you can do to somebody 70 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
And also, this is very public. I'm right next to the 101, and if anything were to happen, someone can be here in, you know, T-minus 1 minute.
In minutes.
So that's a good feeling too. You know, it mostly the support I'm getting is really what counts, and as long as I continue to see that, I'm not worried about anything else.
Oh, what's that hammering board behind you?
Yeah.
That hammer should probably be scooted over into the middle more.
Hi.
Great. Is that here?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
But yeah, Will Parrish here.
Will Parrish, investigative reporter,
Yeah.
Anderson Valley Advertiser, and other fine publications. We're going to sow seeds of resistance at Bountiful Gardens, our venerable local seed supplier. Now bringing to you a special line of resistance to the bypass seeds. Come get yours while supplies last. Be out here. There's going to possibly be tree cutting going on. Particularly, we're worried about the area where there's a beautiful grove of firs and pines over about midway between where we're sitting and Dripworks. I'll just say the most important thing is that we stand our ground and demonstrate through our actions that we're not going away no matter what comes down on us. We've had choppers flying over the entire bypass route trying to intimidate us, trying to scout for information on where to deploy their officers so they can crack down on us. We had a new tree cutting contractor just come out on Friday who are really aggressive. So we've got a lot coming at us, but this is where we really pull together and demonstrate that we're serious enough to actually stop this project. Power doesn't concede anything without a demand, and we need to demand that this land is protected, and of course we're the only ones who are going to protect it, so that's really a demand of ourselves to be out here and not step back 1 inch from what we know is right. So not everyone who comes out here has to put themselves in jeopardy or put themselves at risk of being arrested, but there's a lot at stake in this, so we need to pull together for the benefit of this beautiful life that we've been given, and remember that responsibility means to give in exchange for what you've been given. We've been given this life, we've been given this beautiful air that we breathe, we've been given the gift of mobility, the gift of agency, and the gift of resistance is what we need to give back to our Mama Earth out here and to the future generations and the current generations that would be affected very severely in a bad way if the bypass were to be constructed.
But it has been referred to as the Liberty Ponderosa. And we're 70 feet up right now, so I think she's probably 130 feet or so, I think. And obviously very sturdy, a little bit younger, but that'll change as long as he stays here. To be honest, it's really difficult to make any kind of connection with anything out here because of that.
Right.
The highway is so distracting and just relentless for me that there are just very precious few hours, in the wee hours of the morning where I can actually hear anything else going on, which includes, the birds and the frogs, which otherwise, right now you can't hear anything except for the highway. And the fact that we want to put another one through here has been becoming this really daunting thing to me. It's like, I don't understand why there needs to be another one. So, I've been thinking about that a lot, like, tree sitters, seemingly have this connection with their tree and everything. And not that I don't have a connection with the tree in this whole area, obviously that's why I'm here, but like, to really delve into it, I guess. I haven't had that opportunity really. Also because I'm constantly distracted by people who are coming by, which is great. I want that to happen. I thought when I first came up here that I would have all this time to be just sitting here and I'd be bored out of my mind, but in reality, there are people who are just driving in and out of here constantly and wanting to ask questions, and people bring their kids by and they want to bring up little treats for me, and it's just this really wonderful, this is like an epicenter for this community to come and share in something, and so that's been really heartening for me to just be a part of that.
As you said that, one pulled up.
He brought my tea.
I like your little wisdom decorations that are springing up here.
They were in the bottom of somebody else's tea bag.
Is this your first time up here, Will?
Third.
Huh?
Third time.
Third time. Wow.
Sturdy Trader Joe's bag.
So I'm bringing stuff for you.
That's okay. I think I've actually been doing pretty well.
Great. Wow, you really like this story. You're just going into it. What's that?
But anyway, while we've got just a little more time, just touch one more time on what you feel is to the heart of all this. What drives you to be so much a part of this and to be so driven to stop this bypass?
What drives me in general is that I understand on I would say a fairly deep level that our well-being is dependent on the well-being of Mama Earth. So just thinking about how my own life path has converged with this entire situation is a huge motivation, and so I want to give back to this valley, and I want to protect all the different critters and all of the wildlife and all the wild and free things that are here. And I want people now in the future to be able to continue to relate to this land as they have, because that's a basic right that people should have, is to be able to live here without this destructive monstrosity inhibiting them from enjoying this place and being connected to it.
Right on. I hope that CHP listens to that and doesn't hit you in the head quite as hard as they want to now. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm seeing out of these guys. I see all this anger coming from not only Caltrans but CHP and a lot of the anger of the people that go up and down the road that flip us off and yell obscenities and they don't realize how much on their side we are. They don't get it, and just to hear how you feel and how the Warbler here feels and I just want people to know that there's people that like you guys that are here for them to look out for their best interest.
Yeah, for sure.
And I thank you They may thank you someday, but right now,
Yeah.
you've got the people behind you that